Last year, I registered my son at school. In the application form, on paper, of course, I had to mark that I am aware and agree on the school rule prohibiting cell phones and digital devices on the school premises. I thought. Rather than ban them, shouldn't we teach the kids how to deal with those devices properly? If the kids don't learn it at school, then where? By prohibiting digital devices where the kids learn most, we strengthen their belief that the analog reality and the digital space are two totally different words. Instead, we should teach them that the same rules and values of the analog world are also applicable to the digital one. Our children will be the ones designing and building the machines of the future. Why aren't we preparing them for it? That day I realized how different my professional reality was from school reality. My job consists in helping my company leverage technology to develop new products and to increase efficiency, but in a human-centered way. While assessing processes that people perform every day, my team and I focus on the people behind these processes. We discuss with them about the tasks they perform every day and let them identify the automation potentials. I hear to business challenges and discuss with business leaders how we can use technology to solve these challenges. I talk with colleagues who are afraid of losing their jobs, and others who feel relieved after a robot took over the repetitive tasks. I hear people talking positively about automation, freeing up resources for a more creative endeavor, and others who claim to need these repetitive tasks to disconnect from their stressful lives. All in all, I witness daily how artificial intelligence is changing the labor market and with it people's lives. According to a study of the Organization of Economic Development, Cooperation and Development, 14% of the jobs have a potential of automation of over 70%. This is equivalent to 66 million workers in the 32 countries covered by the study. In addition, another 32% have a potential of automation of between 50 and 70%, changing the way these jobs are carried out and hence changing the skill sets of the job. Putting aside the numbers, let's have a look at a couple of examples proving how the shifts in tasks between humans and machines is already in motion. What you see on the picture is an airplane factory back in the 40s. Nowadays, we mainly see robots in factories, and these robots are building other robots. In the healthcare sector, we used to have simple utensils. Nowadays, we have machines, we have surgery rooms full of machines, and in the near future, we will have robots performing the surgery by themselves. Of course, steered by a doctor, but she won't need to be in the same surgery room as the patient anymore. Or something as basic as grocery shopping will be disrupted by sensors and cameras equipped with artificial intelligence installed everywhere, enabling a supermarket to function without registers, cashiers, checkouts, or lines. Or something as arts. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the first Rembrandt, painted by a computer and printed by a 3D printer. Through the 3D printing, you can recognize the brush stroke, which is something individual to each artist. Or music. What we just heard is Beethoven's 10th Symphony. You read it correctly and you heard it correctly, the 10th Symphony. In fact, Beethoven started writing it before he died, but he never finished it, that's why it's unknown. And to his 250th birthday last year, Deutsche Telekom initiated a project to end the 10th Symphony with the help of AI. And of course, with the help of many human experts, AI and music experts. As you can see, not even arts will be something, an endeavor restricted to humans. At this point, I guess you want to hear which jobs won't be automated, right? Unfortunately, no jobs are 100% safe. The extent of disruption will depend on the skill set of the jobs. But don't worry, there is hope, mainly because of two reasons. First, because there's another study, of course. So the World Economic Forum Future of Job Report of 2020 estimated that by 2025, 85 million jobs may be displaced by the reallocation of tasks from machines, from humans to machines, while 97 million jobs may erase. This confirms what we have seen in the past. In fact, in developed countries, employment has been increasing despite automation. Many new jobs exist today that didn't exist in the past. Think of a data masseur, for example. For those who hear the term for the first time, it's one of the roles of data scientists. Second, there are the so-called bottlenecks of automation. These are the tasks that, based on the actual state of knowledge, are very hard to automate. They include perception manipulation, which is the ability to carry out physical tasks and manual tasks in an unstructured work environment, creative intelligence, and social intelligence. Unfortunately, emotional intelligence hasn't reached the attention it deserves. But we need to change that. Engineering and coding skills are not the only ingredients. We need new skills and strength to make sure that we are prepared for this technological revolution. According to Daniel Goleman, this is the American psychologist who helped popularize it, emotional intelligence is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Those are the skills that robots don't have, that are unique to humans, and that will be so crucial in the labor market of the future. And talking about the future, let's have a look at the past. So if we look back in history, automation has been around for hundreds of years. And yet, we managed to cope and to create new employment. The automation of the agriculture gave way to manufacturing. And the automation of manufacturing gave way to services. During the Industrial Revolution, the machines took over the physical tasks, so people developed cognitive skills. In this technological revolution, machines are taking over cognitive skills, so people need to harness emotional intelligence. If we don't manage to teach our children and adults in improving their emotional intelligence, then we might end up in the scenario people fear the most. I call it the AI dystopia. We are familiar with automation in factories, but the same is happening in offices. The only difference is that the robots are not hardware, but software. You cannot touch them, but they are everywhere. Instead of seeing more robots, you just see less people. Data entry clerks, accountants, bookkeepers, auditors, or even customer service workers were highly replaced by software robots. Only a small elite designing and building the robots are the remaining few office workers. And the elite is small because we were not able to overcome the digital divide. Since we didn't manage to upgrade the school system, we kept preparing the masses for repetitive tasks while the most privileged attended extracurricular activities to enhance IQ and EQ. But after reaching a certain, and the advancements in technology enable the computers, the robots, to acquire even more intelligence, allowing them to perform even more complex tasks. So after searching a tipping point, the few remaining workers complain to the big boss. So what? He says, what are you going to do? Strike? Go ahead. There are enough robots capable of doing the job. They strike, lose their job, and spend the rest of their life on a couch playing video games, while video surveillance cameras installed everywhere monitor every movement and alert the big boss should anyone make a stand against the system. Scary scenario, isn't it? Okay, let's rewind back to our starting point with the office full of people and have a look at the AI utopia. Of course, the robots are getting smarter and smarter, but people are getting smarter too. We provided enough training provision, particularly for low-skilled workers. We strengthened the learning, the training policies and prepared the masses for the new requirements. And we trained the people to reflect more on the tasks they perform daily. Now they're able to identify the tasks that are not worth being done by humans. They are the ones identifying the automation potentials and asking the robots to take over their jobs. Or they might even build the robots themselves. In any case, we taught them how to extract the robot out of the human. They are free to choose what to do in their freed-up capacity. We empowered them to do so because we believe that every individual has a talent that should come to light. And it does, because we leverage EQ. We strengthened people's self-esteem and believed in them. We flattened the hierarchies and distributed the power. And we trained people and awakened their curiosity. Now, they're hungry for knowledge, are actively acquiring new skills. With the newly gained skills, they are able to invent new products and services, to do arts, sports, or maybe spend more time with their families. While, very important, while the robots are doing the job. What may seem like an utopia is actually very realistic. Many of the methodologies I mentioned are not new. We know how to face the challenge. We just need to start executing. And to start executing, we need to stop fearing. Fearing technology, fearing AI, and fearing change. The fear of AI is something I witness very often. Most people picture the Terminator when they hear the term AI. To change that, I started giving workshops for non-tech people, explaining the most used AI and machine learning methodologies, using examples of our daily lives and avoiding any mathematical formulas. During the workshops, I could really see how the facial expression of the attendees were getting more and more relaxed. Many of them approached me at the end to tell me that they feel relieved after hearing my explanation. Having witnessed that for so many times, I decided to bring my message to a broader audience. So I wrote a book, and yes, a real book in paper. Believe me, writing this book was a huge challenge, doing it on top of my already full and stressful life. But the will to contribute to AI literacy was much stronger than the need of relaxing. I believe everyone should be informed about AI and how it is impacting our lives. Understanding technology is the first step in shaping one's own future. I'm standing here a divided person. On the one side, I am a tech expert, excited about the technological developments. I truly believe that they can help us tackle many of the challenges we have. On the other side, I am a worried mother, seeing that the future she's developing professionally is moving at light speed while the education of her children is stagnating. I am a worried colleague, citizen, and friend, feeling people's fear about AI. But I take their fear seriously, because I believe that those who fear the most will be affected the most. But we shouldn't let fear win. Societies have been fearing automation for hundreds of years. The steam engine, the spinning jenny, the cars, the assembly line, the computer, now the AI. Every revolution started with fear of what is to come. But as Marie Curie put it, nothing in life is to be feared. It's only to be understood. Now it's the time to understand with our brains and with our hearts. Thank you.